There. Oh, first cannot stay there.
And you are.
Good evening. Hi, all. Welcome back to Let's Talk with Olu. Today, this evening, I am with Rebecca Woods, Faith and Freedom Coach. Rebecca, tell them a bit about yourself.
Hi, guys. Yeah, Faith and Freedom Coach, big Olu Muley fan. Big fan. And I too am a coach. And you know that I work with a lot of women of faith. I help them with inner prayer healing. It's a lot about confronting the mental blocks and lies we've believed to help them kind of be healed from a lot of that stuff we carry around. So I'm excited to be here with you tonight. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. And I big fan of yours as well. Huge fan of hers. I can listen to Rebecca speak forever. Rebecca is one of my speakers of our upcoming second annual Let's Talk Women's Conference. I'll never stop being amazed every time I say the second annual because I can't believe the first one has come and gone. A quick funny story about Rebecca at the first conference. She's a good friend of mine. We've lost count of how many years. We think it's 15, something like that. And I know her well, love her dearly. And at my conference, when she was speaking, I almost broke my phone because I'm trying to take a picture of all of her screens because it was just really good stuff. And then I thought to myself, stop the madness. You know her. You can just call her tomorrow and ask her for a copy of her presentation. So that's how Rebecca and I are. So you all know me, Olu, certified motivational life coach and speaker, keynote speaker, founder of the Let's Talk Women's Conference, and small business startup consultant. Tonight, our topic is then versus now. The dynamics, the shift in the family dynamics. What happened there?
Yeah.
Let me tell you again, let me go back and tell you a bit about how this topic came up. I'm often asked, what is your Let's Talk about? What is it about? Like, what are we talking about? And I always say, whatever comes to your mind, whatever you need to talk about, whatever you're facing at home, challenges, questions that you may have, that's what we talk about. We literally talk about anything. Well, Rebecca and I, since July 2nd of last year, I have to always pause because this whole last year and this year, I'm just so confused. So July 2nd, we started getting up every morning at 6 a.m. and praying. We had discovered that summer that we were both going through the exact same storm, still kind of going through it. But we recognized we were in the same boat, same storm, and it was sinking. And we needed something and someone. So we banded together as sister friends and started praying. But some mornings we fellowship more and pray less. And thank God, God knows our heart. Anyways, one morning we started talking about Sundays, how Sundays have changed. And we're like, yeah, remember Sundays? They were so good. So I'm going to let Rebecca explain what her Sundays were like. And then I'll explain what my Sundays were like. And then Rebecca and I will tell you what our conclusion of that morning that we talked, our conclusion of why we believed that shift changed. Take it away.
Well, I remember sharing with you, I used to love Sunday because even growing up as a kid, Sunday was preserved for, well, it was the Lord's Day, and it was very much about family. It wasn't just another day to do chores. And then we started reminiscing about, remember when the malls were closed on Sundays? Like, we know Chick-fil-A is still closed Sundays and Hobby Lobby is going to be closed on Sundays, but you couldn't, stores, grocery stores, the malls, stuff was shut down Sunday. So we would go to church and we would either, because in my family, we either did after church, we'd go to Swiss Chalet for Christian chicken, or we'd go home for pot roast. We would do that, like have the whole Sunday dinner. And sometimes we would do evening church too, but afternoons were reserved for family. So we would take the dog to the park. We'd go for walks. We would do something as a family. Maybe we would do a movie, but it was very much a fun day that we looked forward to. It wasn't dreading, oh no, tomorrow's Monday. It was, we looked forward to Sunday, and it wasn't loaded with the distractions that it is now. And by contrast, we were talking about, I miss that. I miss the simplicity of it. I missed it being a special day that we set aside to do those things that were meaningful, right?
Yeah. And my Sunday was very similar. I just clearly remember my grandmother, and my grandmother's philosophy was, if you slept past the sun rising, you slept half the day away.
Wasted the day.
You've wasted the day. So my grandmother is up at the crack of dawn, and she would cook the meal for Sunday. So Sunday's dinner is cooked. And it's smelling throughout the whole house, and it smells good, but you can't go near the pot because it's for dinner. And then she would cook breakfast, and we'd wake up and have breakfast and get ready, and we'd go to church. Church back in the day is different than church now, because the pastor would say amen about 15 times and he still ain't done yet. Right? I find pastors today are watching the clock. Oh, I was gonna speak on that chapter, but we're running out of time. Not back in the day. So we'd have to have this pastor go through all of his sermon, every single one of it. And then we would leave, and I'm still smelling and thinking about the food at home. We're nowhere near going home, by the way. Church is over, but we're not heading home.
Not yet.
So the second service is in the parking lot where all the sisters get together. Sister
Yeah.
so-and-so and sister so-and-so and sister so-and-so. God forbid sister so-and-so is at home sick. Now everybody's heading over to sister so-and-so's house. And all I'm thinking about is the food in the house. But it was very much like a family thing. You get up, you go to church, you have breakfast, you go to church, you visit all the aunties and sister so-and-sos, you come home, you have dinner, you get ready for school the next day. There was no fuss, there was no muss, there was no stress.
Yeah.
It was just a nice day. Sundays were good days.
Yep.
And then we both said, well, what changed? And at the same time we said, stores opening on Sundays. That's what we think. That's when we think the shift in the family dynamics changed. So like before stores open on Sundays, everything had to be done by Saturday.
Yeah.
So Friday you did some cleaning and around the house, and Saturday was your jam-packed laundry shopping day.
Yeah.
And then Sunday was as we described. And then they opened the stores on Sundays. And now that was the end of Sundays as we know it. What do you think about that?
It kind of hurts my heart a little bit, because I have fallen into that myself, right? Where now it's kind of, okay, we go to church, check that box. Okay. Now, since I'm in the area where church was, okay, so let me run to Costco, let me pick up some laundry detergent because I got to wash clothes before Monday. And now it's become just, I don't know if it's the accessibility of things being open, but have gotten in the pattern of it's another day, and I recognize I'm treating it like the other days. And I want Sunday to look and feel different. It should, right? We're called into rest, right? And we talked about this too.
Yes.
And you and I have been even reviewing Genesis lately. We went way back to the creation, and we know that on the seventh day, whatever day that was, God rested himself. And how important that was being established for us. Body, mind, soul, spirit, that we need to rest. He invites us into his rest. And so if we're not taking Sunday or a day for the Lord's Day as a Sabbath day to rest, when do we ever rest? It's not happening Monday to Saturday, at least in my household.
Right? No one's household.
Yeah.
No one's household.
So how do we get back to that? Because it was set up in a way, it looked different than every other day. You could do your groceries, you could do your errands, you could do your laundry and cooking and meal prepping and all the chores and errands, but Sunday was different.
Yeah.
And I miss that.
And as you're saying that, as you're describing all the things that we did on Saturdays, the laundry, the errands, the cooking, the prepping and all that, why did it seem like we still had time at the end of the day on Saturday? It wasn't like we got this all done. It was like 10 o'clock at night and we're like, it's like 4 or 5 o'clock and everything's done.
But we also weren't living on our cell phones.
Okay. So
we also were not consumed.
Segue. So I'm taking my shower, TMI. I'm taking my shower, getting ready to come and do this. And I'm thinking, wait a second. Now we can't go blaming everything on Sundays. We can't be going and blaming everything on stores opening on Sundays. I think it was huge. I think that was a huge thing that happened. And that started on June 7th, 1992. That's when stores started opening on Sundays.
In 92?
92.
Wow.
Yeah, so over 30 years ago.
Okay.
And then I thought while I was taking my shower, you know what else happened? Cell phones came into existence. The internet came into existence.
Yeah.
They canceled grade 13, which became OAC.
Right.
They canceled that. All the community centers disappeared. So I did some research.
Okay.
Cell phones came into existence the first cell phone was created on April the 3rd, 1973.
The brick. Do you remember?
Yes.
Okay. So
that's the Motorola. The brick was the
like,
Motorola.
Like it's a bicep workout to pick up that phone.
Where's the? Okay. Yes. But
what kind of handbag did people need back then for that phone?
I remember the first time I saw when I was managing the Real Jerk, and this guy came in and he's sitting there and he had this thing that looked like a brick on the table.
Yeah.
And I just kept wondering what that was, right? What is this thing on the table? Why does it have to be sitting there facing him while he eats? I just didn't understand what it was. I walked by and tried to see what it was and I couldn't figure it out. And then it rang. what the jail is this?
Mhm.
But yeah, the first cell phone was created in 1973, but it didn't become popular until 1983.
Yeah.
Motorola. Internet was born on January 1st, 1983. However, I got some notes going on here. Internet websites went from 130 in 1993. So it came into existence in 1983.
But people didn't have computers in 83.
No. And I'm sure they're working things out and trying to figure out how this stuff works and all that. So in 1993, there was 130 websites. 130 websites in 1993.
Okay.
By 1996, it had grown to over 100,000. So it's not just the Sunday store openings. Cell phones came into existence.
Yeah.
The internet came into existence. Grade 13 was phased out in 2003. Right?
Yes.
So the OAC replaced grade 13 in 1984. And then by 2003, grade 13 was done.
Yep.
Right? And for me, the biggest thing, in addition to Sunday closings, what happened to our community centers where all the kids used to go?
Yeah.
Right? That's where we used to hang out. That's where we used to play. Those just kind of phased out. And whatever was left, I think COVID shut the rest of them down, because once COVID came, you couldn't have them opened anymore. So are there any more community centers anywhere anymore? So we're not going to blame everything on stores opening, but let's examine stores opening on Sundays. Because there are a few stores that don't open anymore on Sundays. You mentioned a couple. Chick-fil-A. I remember we had a guest speaker at WCA once. He owns a motorcycle shop, and he doesn't open on Sundays.
Yeah.
And when my empire grows to the level that I know it's going to get to, I'll be closed on Sundays and Mondays. You won't be able to call me or contact me or reach me. I won't be responding to you. So what do you think? Like, are we rightfully blaming Sunday's store opening, shopping?
I think it's a big part. But to your point, all of those things are contributing factors, right? And I remember back, might have been 96, 97, where I had my first cell phone. And I remember it had a flip. It was a big, chunky phone with a flip, and you could program 9 numbers in it. It would program 9 numbers in it. And the antenna you'd pull out with your teeth and feel so fancy. That kind. Do you remember those? Back in the day, right?
Back in the day.
But thus began a distraction.
Yes.
Because then you started seeing everybody had that Fido Motorola phone that we could play the snake game. And I remember even on the subway years ago, like late 90s, early 2000s, looking around, everybody had one of those phones. And all you could do then was play a black and white game on it. You couldn't listen to music and podcasts and everything that we do now with this pocket-sized computer that we're all obsessed with, right? So as technology has improved and advanced, we have the capability to be more connected than ever, but we're more disconnected now than ever.
Yeah. We're more physically and emotionally disconnected than ever. So I am thinking, as I'm preparing for this, and I'm thinking, grade 13 is gone, OAC is gone, community centers are gone, internet has taken over, cell phones have taken over. We're shopping like no one's business on a Sunday.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, if I was told I can only have one thing on that list, what would it be? Would I want the stores to be closed on Sundays? Would I want to be done with cell phones and internet? Would I want community centers reopened, grade 13 to come back? I can only have one thing on that list. What would it be?
What would it be?
In the course of me taking my shower, do you know how many times it changed?
Yeah.
Right? It kept changing. I mean, my very, very first thought was close the stores on Sundays. And I thought that there's no way the government's going to go for that. They're going to start throwing numbers at us about how much they make on Sundays, blah, blah, blah. And the world has changed and the workforce has changed. So people's working hours are different. You have people that their Monday and Tuesday are their weekends. So when do they shop? And I'm thinking, well, on Monday and Tuesday. But so I'm like, okay, I don't know about that. Can't get away. I don't want to come on here and sound like a hypocrite and say get away with cell phones and the internet. Hello, entrepreneur, businesswoman.
Yeah.
Can't do that.
Yeah.
I think ideally what I would really love to have come back of everything on that list, community centers. That's what I think I would like to have.
Well, you're
come
right
back.
about that, because so many of the programming's been cut,
Yeah.
Even my husband and I were talking about, I remember public school back in the 90s, because I'm so fond of the 90s. I miss the 90s. But I remember public school, you would start your first day of school and you would get this box of school supplies. Free, public school, not private school. And it was this little cardboard box and would have pencils and stuff in it. Your first day of school with the school logo or crest on it or whatever. Public school used to do that. But when we think about the funding, the cancellations, and things that have been eliminated over the years, that's just one small example. But community centers have been hit drastically. Yeah. I know after school programs that people used to flock to the community centers, and there's still some, but not like it was.
Not like it was. So of everything on that list, what would you, if you could have something come back, what would it be?
Probably the stores closing.
You want them closed?
Yeah, I would, because hypothetically, if I could, because it would force me to make the rest of my week work like it used to.
Like it used to.
It would force me to honor the day the way I should. And really, it's on me to do that anyway. Like, if we're going to be accountable, I don't have to go shopping on Sunday. Don't have to. And I probably will change that because it bothers me. I don't want to be running my errands on Sunday. I want it to feel how it used to feel. And now it's become like, we were talking about this. We were getting fired up about this because how many people go, oh, it's Sunday, tomorrow. Oh, tomorrow's coming, right? Got to make my lunch, got to do my laundry, do all this stuff for work. And we spend our whole Sunday getting ready for the rest of our week when really, where's the rest? Where's the reflection? Where's the devotion? Where's the rejuvenation, right? When is that happening if not on Sunday or a Sunday?
A day of rest. And I find it, this should be one of the easiest things to follow. The Lord says we must pick a day of rest. And again, we talked about this too. We said, well, nowhere in the Bible did it say it had to be Sunday. So where did Sunday come about? But that's another argument for another day. Yeah. But the Lord saying, a day of rest should probably be one of the easiest things to follow. Why is it so difficult? So remember I told you mine kept changing about what I would have back. So I thought of Sundays. I thought, close the stores on Sundays. Make us stay home. Make the family unit back again. Make us have to face one another, talk to one another, eat together, whatever the case may be. And I thought, but you see, I often think of Christmas Day, although anybody who knows me well knows I love everything about Christmas. Yes. But Christmas Day is one of the most boring day of the year.
Do you love it though because it's boring?
I feel trapped. You know, when you can't do something, you want to do it.
Okay.
Because you know it's a problem. You know it's a problem when McDonald's is closed. When you can't go get a McFlurry.
But don't you like that though? Because the whole world, for that reason of Christmas, is shut down to observe Christmas, and we're all in the same boat together. You don't like it? You're inconvenienced?
I'm not inconvenienced.
Okay.
Heavenly Father, full of grace and mercy, how I love you so. I'm not inconvenienced. It's that thing where the one thing that you can't have, you want. Now, I will spend the days leading up to Christmas Day making sure I have everything to make our shortbread jollof rice. Like whatever we're cooking, cornbread, like whatever we're cooking, I got everything.
Yeah.
There's always, without a doubt, every Christmas Day where one thing is missing. Without a doubt. And you're like, Sneeze, run to... Oh. Go to... Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? So that's what I go through on Christmas Day. I do love the peace and quiet. I like the music of Christmas. I love the movies that come on at Christmas.
Me too.
I love eating until you literally pass out. I love everything about Christmas. But the fact that I can't go anywhere, not that I necessarily have to.
And that's like the option.
Yeah, that's the funny part.
Okay.
I don't necessarily have to.
Yeah.
But the fact that I can't, so then that took Sundays off of my list.
Okay.
Yeah.
So technology is still on the list.
Well,
stores open are on the list.
It's barely surviving, but it's on the list.
Okay. It was community centers.
Community centers. I remember our community center when we were growing up, that's where everybody was after school. Like everybody.
Yeah.
And then we went home afterwards. Like when the street lights came on, we scattered. And everybody went home because nobody wanted their parents on the balcony calling them every single one of their names. Right?
Yes.
And usually it would be my brother. But no, I loved that. I loved that. A lot has changed. And although a lot of it has been for good, it's really put a wrench in the family dynamic.
Yeah. Which sent us down a different rabbit hole of reflection when we started thinking about just back in the day.
Just back in
Like
the
when
day.
the street lights came on, that was the time to go in.
Yes.
I would never let my daughter now play outside until it got dark
Oh my
outside. If I
gosh.
can't be, out there and
Wow.
observing, it's changed so much, right?
That's
I miss
so
that.
true. That
I
is
miss
so
it. The
true.
simplicity of it, the freedom that we had then,
Yeah.
even though we have more advanced technology now, modern medicine and all of it is wonderful. But I
At
think
what cost?
Yeah, we're still missing something. We've lost something. I want to go back and read about your followers and what their Sundays were like.
I
growing
know,
up.
right?
wanna
I
hear about
can't.
that.
I can't wait to hear what people's days were back in the day.
Yeah.
I think they're very similar. I think they were very similar, and there wasn't this rush to get ready for work and or school on Monday
Mhm.
because we had all of Sunday and we had part of Saturday. Because although you listed this whole list of things that we had to do on Saturdays, we still had time at the end.
Yeah.
It wasn't like we got done at midnight.
Right.
Right? We
Right.
were done at like 4, 5, 6 o'clock. And I don't think the stores were open late on Saturdays. I think they closed at if anybody's listening that knows back in the day, I don't think the stores opened till like 8, 9 o'clock at night on Saturdays. I think they were open till about 6.
Yeah. A lot of stores still on Saturdays shut down at 6. A lot of them
Wow.
still do. So what would you like your Sunday to look like? If for you to love your Sunday and feel like, oh, it's my favorite day of the week. I can't wait for Sunday to roll around because it's so special and it's marked for rest and relaxation and all the good stuff. What do you need your Sunday to look like that?
I would need it to look like a day that I spend with the Lord. You get up in the music at morning and the worship music is blaring.
Yeah.
You pray, you get up and you give him thanks for the day, another day, and his presence in your day. This is a day that you have made. I want it to be like that. It's so when I do those kind of things, when I do that, man, there's a difference in your day.
Yeah.
There's a difference
Come on.
in our day. I didn't go when I used to go to church before COVID shut everything down, and I haven't found a home church since. The days that I played hooky from church, like I just got up and I'm like, yeah, I just don't feel like going because for me it was automatic.
Mhm.
It was automatic.
We knew where you were on Sunday.
Everybody knew where I was on
Yes,
Sunday. It was
yes.
really easy to find me and get me. But every now and again, I'd be like, the clothes is taken out. Everything is done. I just don't want to go.
Mhm.
Something will always happen in the house.
Mm.
Me and somebody will jump off. Without a doubt, that or I'm going to get a call from somebody on the way home. You, Millicent, somebody going, girl, you missed us. You missed a message today.
You needed that word
like,
today.
You needed that word. I'm looking around saying, where's Olu? And I'm like, I don't want to hear it. Don't tell me. Well, let me tell you.
Yeah.
And they go in to tell me.
Yeah.
And I again, like you want to cry. You're like, oh no, stop it.
Yes.
What happened to you? I just didn't feel like, oh
Especially
man.
those days when you're on the fence. I could go.
And
Should
then
I
you don't go?
No, I'm a little late. I could make it.
Mhm.
My aunt has a sign in her bathroom that says, better to be late and beautiful than on time and ugly. Like she gonna take her time to get pretty. And if she doesn't have her time, she's staying home.
Lord,
She's
auntie.
staying home.
Okay, auntie.
So those Sundays where you're too rushed and it's like,
Mhm.
now if the weather looks dicey or I feel like I didn't leave us enough time, we can even just stay home and watch church.
Yeah.
Like all of these things that didn't exist anymore. It's different from when you're in the house of God and you're in the presence of fellow worshipers, right? And the spillover is full and you're soaking it in and you're getting that on Sunday and only Sunday.
Yeah.
We gotta get back to that.
Gotta get back to that. And for me, church started when I got to that first door. Because that's when you get that first hug. Hey, hi. And it's just the fellowship before you even get into the word or the pastor delivering his message. So I would like my Sundays to look like that. I would like my food to be prepped and or even cooked Saturday night.
Yeah.
Right. And just get up and do nothing. And although I say that as I'm saying it now, and I'm passionate about it as I'm saying it, and it's stirring something up in my spirit to say that, Sunday's gonna come and you're gonna roll out of bed right into the laundry, frying the chicken and the fish. I mean, it's just so automatic. However, going back to my list of things that I would want back, and I said community center, I wouldn't be mad if they closed the stores on Sundays because it wouldn't take me, or I'm pretty sure it's safe to guess that it wouldn't take people, the population, long to get used to the fact that, okay, so it's closed.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be an uproar at first. I might be leading the uproar.
You might be leading the uproar.
There might be an uproar at first,
Yeah.
But it's not going to take us very long to A, get used to the fact that it's closed, and B, be happy that it's closed.
True.
It's
I
not
agree with
gonna
that.
it's not gonna take very long.
Yeah. Yeah. We also didn't have online shopping back then too, which we now have.
There you go.
Really,
You
like
add another one.
if we can't get our groceries in the house Monday to Saturday, and I'm speaking to myself here, when Amazon, I can order and have it in my literally on my porch 8 hours later. It's happened, and I couldn't believe that same day. Then what are we doing? You know, what are we
Yeah.
really doing?
Yeah.
There are big families. I know some big Italian families that they reserve Sundays for Sunday dinner, family Sunday dinner. And so is going to host every Sunday. It's church, and the whole family, extended family, gets together for dinner
Right.
every Sunday. And that's all it is. It's
Yes.
church and family. You think they love those Sundays and look forward to them and that tradition? I love that. They're not going to Costco, fighting over parking lots, losing the anointing they just got at church. Right? Like thinking that's going to last us all week. Like
It didn't even last you to Costco.
it didn't even last you to Costco till after lunch. It's gone. Because this is what we're filling our time with on Sunday. I love that. I love that.
There's a show on, I think they just canceled it. And one of the actors, one of the Wahlberg brothers, it's called Blue Bloods.
Okay, familiar, yes.
Yeah, and it's a family of cops. They're all cops from the father on down.
Okay.
And some of the in-laws, like I mean, they're all cops.
Generational.
Yeah, so they spend all week running around catching criminals, you know, shooting, blah, blah, blah. And Sunday, they're all at the table for dinner. And if so-and-so is missing, there's a call going, hey, where are you? No, we're at the table. Like, where are you?
I love that.
And they just canceled that show. And Wahlberg, one of the Wahlberg brothers, who was one of the stars of the show, was literally in tears. Literally in tears. Like, what am I going to do now kind of thing. Right? So those, yeah, I think I say don't close the stores, but I know for a fact it wouldn't take us very long to get used to it.
Yeah.
It wouldn't take us. And you're right, there's alternatives now. But if the stores are closed, you still can't order from Amazon or Uber Eats or what's that? Instacart. You can't order from them.
You'd have to do it.
You have to do it. So it's Saturday
Yeah.
or Monday.
Yeah. But I just think I would love my Sunday a lot more if it didn't look like every other day.
That's true.
You know?
Yeah.
If it was a little bit special and reserved for family, and I just knew without fail, like clockwork, Sunday is church and family.
Yeah.
That's a nice thing to look forward to.
Yeah.
And sets up my week. It's a nice tone taking it into Monday rather than rushing around, doing all the stuff that I find myself doing, getting ready for the week on my day of rest.
Yeah.
You know, I want to change that.
So I'm going to play devil's advocate here a little bit. And I'm going to say, what if somebody said, why Sundays? The Lord said a day of rest. He didn't say which day.
Right.
So why are you guys closing the store on Sundays? Why don't you guys close it on a Tuesday and have Tuesdays a day of rest? What say you to that?
You know, it's fair because some people would be working Sunday, so they can't take. Like I think about people, nurses, shift work and all kinds of stuff where they have to be working. That's not their day of rest. I think, that would be more challenging for them because they'd look to Sunday as a day they have to work. But even different churches will honor a different day. Some people, the Sabbath is a Saturday for them. I think the point is you have a day
of rest.
You get 6 days to cram all the busyness in and fill your days with, let's be real, how much mindless scrolling are we doing? And how much mindless scrolling on a Sunday?
So there's a couple.
By the way, and I'm seeing it in church. So that we'll get ourselves there. We're going to darken our screen. So I've seen it in church. No judgment.
Can I tell you a story? At my church, I'm not going to name the church. Well, I think I already did. This lady came in every Sunday. She sat in front of me because you know how we had our spots in church.
I know what you're going to say.
Yeah. You can find your seat with your eyes closed, blindfolded. We just knew where we were going. I had my seat. Everybody knew not to sit in my seat. And this lady sat in front of me every Sunday. Walked in late every Sunday with her Starbucks coffee every Sunday. Okay, Linda, you were late and you stopped for coffee. And then she would sit down and she'd be a scroller. The whole service. Worship team is going. The music is like just penetrating your soul. You're already in tears. And pastor says, okay, everybody rise for prayer. And she's scrolling. And it got on my nerves every Sunday. So I tell Millicent this. Millicent, my dear friend, I tell her, I said, Millicent, this lady is driving me crazy. How's she gonna show up to work every Sunday, Starbucks coffee in hand, late already, sashaying in with the coffee on display, and then she's on her phone the whole time, like she misses the entire service. Why bother come? I just go on my whole mighty self.
Yep.
And Millicent says to me, God bless her, she says to me, what were you doing while she was on the phone? You were watching her? I'm like, yeah, she's right in front of me. And she's like, oh, so you too missed the service.
Yes, you did. Because you just give a laundry list of all her details.
She was on Facebook, and then she went there, and then she's like, oh, so what were you doing?
Yes.
And I'm like, oh, she said, see how that works?
Yeah.
You're so busy watching what she's doing,
aren't we?
That you missed the service. What did the pastor preach about? You remember? Or you were too busy watching she?
All right.
Okay, now.
Fair.
Okay, now. So I just had to say that before I digress, but you had mentioned the cell phone.
It's a good point. It's a good point. But it's how present are we? How present really are we? You know? And your phone will give you a report now. How many active hours of screen time?
Or how many times you were on your phone while you were driving?
Oh.
I get that every week.
Oh, I don't see that one.
You were on your phone for 2 hours
while you were driving?
Are there any OPP, CPP, POP popos on this?
How's that possible? Like at red lights or something?
Well, no. So what I think it is a lot of the times I've got my GPS on.
Oh, okay.
So I'm thinking I am not on my phone for 2 hours and 20 minutes. Like,
Okay.
I don't actually like people on their phone when they're driving it. And you know me.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, put the phone down, put the phone down, put the phone down. So I believe it's when I have it on GPS, but it tells me how long I've been on there for. And there are certain shows I don't watch anymore. And certain shows, just leave me. But all the Housewives, I'm sorry for you Housewife fans and you Basketball Diary fans and all the other ones, like I used to watch them. And every time after I got through watching them, I would say to myself, there goes 45 minutes of my time that I will never get back.
Yes.
Right. And so that takes me back to our initial discussion about Sundays and yesteryears. You know what else I loved about back in the day? The TV shows.
Yes.
They had good quality home type TV shows.
Yeah.
Sanford and Son. Good Times.
Yep.
Come on now.
Yeah.
They had good shows on.
We did a trivia thing. There's all these YouTube trivia things you can do about like guess the theme song from the 80s or the 90s or something. And just the theme song sends you right back. They had the Cosby Show clips and all this stuff from years and years and years ago, man. Good shows. Really good shows. You were invested in those characters.
Oh, yeah.
So many sitcoms. So many. It's true.
Felicia Rashad, Bill Cosby Show. Her character revolutionized mothers on TV, black or white.
Yeah.
Like, she was the everything. So it's everything for me. It's everything about back in the day that I miss.
Me too.
It's everything about back in the day that I miss. Even I tell people this all the time. Even gang fights were different back in the day.
How so?
So not everybody had a gun back in those days. There was always gangs. There was always this side versus that side. They used a lot of weapons back in the day. But what I loved about it is they protected children and seniors. So you're going to the store, you're minding your business, you've got your quarter, you get to buy a bag of chips. Yep, bag of chips for a quarter. And they're about to break out. This side and that side are about to break out. And you can kind of see them coming, and you're going to yourself, uh-oh. And then before they start, you'll hear one of them say, yo, watch the kid. Watch the kid. There's a kid. Watch the kid. And then the store owner will come out, open his door, and like, get inside here. Wow. And so we all go into the store, close the doors, they go at it, and then we go home. But if a senior was crossing the street or a child was crossing the street, they will stop.
It was different.
They would stop mid-fight, mid-whatever.
Yeah.
And I mean, everything was different. We stayed out until the street lights came on. And you said there's no way you would let your child do that right now.
No. I remember I was telling my daughter that I remember in December, again, public school all the way through, middle school, public school in December. I remember them filing us into the gym to sing Christmas carols in public school. You would never now, right? Couldn't possibly now.
Because you're going to offend somebody somehow, some way.
Christ in song?
Yeah.
That we would be sharing with the entire school who may or may not share those views won't happen, could never happen. But just the change of what's been stripped, what's been removed, and now what we're missing. I don't know. Are we better for it? I think not.
I'm seeing some of the comments here, and I'm looking at Paula's comments. I loved Living Single. Loved Living Single. And you're right, Paula. I can remember the theme songs for all those shows. You started right now. I'm singing it from start to finish.
Yeah.
I know them all. What did Millicent say up there?
So at one point she said it was dangerous when you talked about driving with the phone.
Mhm.
And then at one point she said, sorry guys, every day is my Sunday now. We can't go back. Plan a day for each family.
And and good
Love it.
point. Yeah, it's a good point. And it's what we talked about. The Bible didn't specifically say Sunday. God said a day of rest. He didn't say Sunday.
Right.
So that's probably what some people's argument would be to us if we said close the stores on Sunday. Let's go back to the day when we couldn't shop on Sundays. And someone came along and said, well, why Sundays? Why not Tuesday? Why not Thursday?
Yeah.
That would be their pushback to us. And how do we answer that? We can't say why not Tuesday, why not Thursday, but pick a day, because we're so far gone from another funny story, because we're so far gone from the family dynamic. Remember when we went to Costa Rica? So we decided to wear our conference t-shirts, Be Uniquely You.
Yes.
On our way back, we wore our trip t-shirts there, and we wore our Be Uniquely You t-shirts on the way back. And we're in the foyer, the lobby of the resort, waiting for a bus to come and get us. We all have our t-shirts on that says Be Uniquely You. And this lady walks by, stops, and starts laughing at us. Do you remember why she was laughing at us?
No. Something about, is this where she wanted a trip like that without her husband?
No. She's with her husband.
Yeah.
She stopped. She sees us and she starts laughing. And she says, you're all wearing t-shirts that say Be Uniquely You, and every one of you are on your cell phone. We were all doing the same thing.
Oh, I don't remember that.
I was so embarrassed.
Awful.
I was so embarrassed.
Wow.
I was so embarrassed.
It's observant.
Well, there were 6 of us.
Yeah.
Proud, Be Uniquely You. And we're all going.
Wow.
Yeah.
Isn't it true though? So here's a question. Would you agree that most people now, certainly a majority, are at home still now working more than being full-time out of the house? Like since COVID, I find anyway in my circle, there's more people still at home, even part-time, more so than they were in the office. Would you agree that people are now home more still than before COVID?
Home in what sense? Like home working?
Home working during the day.
I think so.
So we're home more.
But we're working.
Yeah,
we're in front of the TV, we're in front of the computer, we're in front of the cell phone, we're in front of and that's why I couldn't say anything about the cell phone or internet, because I would sound like a hypocrite. Because as a woman that's starting her own business and an entrepreneur, I'm in the middle of planning the 2nd annual Let's Talk Women's Conference. And so it's conversation with sponsors, and it's conversations with destiny helpers, and it's conversations with my speakers. I need this, I need that. It's conversations with the printers. My phone, I threw my phone at the sofa the other day. I was so frustrated. It's just dinging and dinging and dinging and dinging. I literally threw my phone.
Yeah.
I was so mad.
But we're so distracted now, because if I'm working at home, I can also throw a load of laundry in while I'm working, right? I can also thaw something for dinner. If I'm home, I can be running around. Let me just whip the vacuum over, because that's, you know what I mean? We're so distracted. Whereas before we used to have these lanes, right? Monday through Friday, I wasn't home during the day. I didn't get to do that or be distracted by it. Sunday, I didn't get to do all my errands on Sunday. So it's like we have these wide open options, everything available to us at all times, including our phones. And we're so distracted.
It's really bad.
It is.
It's really bad. And so people ask me, because people now know I don't have a home church. I'm looking to find that church that I walk into, and the Lord says, you're home. So well, what about online church? That never worked for me.
No.
For all the reason you just described. I'd be like, oh, okay. So you know what? Let me make chicken today. But there's no chicken thigh. Okay, 1 second. As I run down to the basement, grab some chicken and come upstairs. You start thawing it out. Oh, there's a plate in the sink, so you wash that. Yes, mommy. And up the stairs you go. I missed the entire service.
Yeah.
And if I want to be honest, I really can't blame anything except for the fact that I just didn't discipline myself. It wasn't important enough to me, clearly, to sit there for that 1 1.5, 2 hours and listen to the service. I hadn't disciplined myself to do
Yeah.
that. Easily distracted, which is why I come to Perspective Studios to do my lives.
Yeah.
Because if I was at home, you would see this. And then I'd be out of the screen because I've bent down for something. I'm very easily distracted.
Yeah.
So yeah, the cell phones, the internet, and it's a double-edged sword that we're fighting, because it's necessary in our world and in our practice and in our business and for our brand.
Yeah.
But it's not, and we're not always on there doing business for our brand,
No.
It's like my niece, my daughter will be in the bathroom, and when I hear her laughing, I just hold my phone in my hand, because eventually it's going to start dinging. She's forwarding me all the stuff that she's laughing at. And now I'm sitting there laughing, right? So
I know.
What do we do?
I think so. If we can do all things through Christ who strengthens us, and we can, I think it's about getting really intentional, because people who have healthy boundaries aren't going to struggle with this. People who have their goals, their routine, they are really rigid about it. That benefits them, right? For their own success. People who set themselves up for success. I think it comes down to boundaries, being intentional with our time, setting limits for our phone. I know somebody I worked with who actually had in her email signature, I don't check this inbox unless it's Tuesday between 12 and 2. If you need me sooner, send me a text or call me. She was not going to be constantly flooded with her inbox in email. I'm seeing those boundaries, like physical boundaries set. Have you ever called someone? My sister has this on her voicemail. You have this number, obviously, so text me, because I don't check my inbox, or something to that effect, right? Like, don't leave me a voicemail. Who's retrieving voicemail messages? If you need to talk to me, text me. That this is the world we're in now. And I must admit, I prefer that too. Like, I have a voicemail. Now I have to go in and retrieve it and delete it or save it or not. So I think it's really, can we get intentional? Can we set a good intention for our week, for a day of rest, whether it's Sunday or any other day, to mark that as something significant and different than the rest of our week? Because I'll tell you what, the days and weeks are rolling by so quickly.
Wow.
They're turning into months and years, and they're all looking the same. So would it not feel different? Would it not feel better? Would we not feel more accomplished if we set aside a day of rest? It wouldn't feel like I was go constantly if I had a day every day and I really used it for rest. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to challenge you to do that as well.
I think while you were talking, you know what I was thinking? Why don't we start with half a day? Why don't we say, like, pick a day and say, my day is going to stop at 6 p.m. Start with a half a day and let's see how that works. Because as somebody who was on stress leave, never returned to work after, this catches up to us. Like, we're talking about yesteryears and back in the day, and it's all kind of jovial and lighthearted and what have you. But the truth of the matter is, this this hamster on a wheel life that we're living is not healthy. Like, I'm all day long. This is the conversation in my head. What day is it? Thursday. Okay. What time is it? Okay, so I've done that meeting. Do I have any more meetings? No. Okay, so what's tomorrow? Friday. Okay, do I have any? That's my whole conversation all day, every day. There is no moment of rest. There is no moment where you sit down, because when I do, my daughter will walk in and say, Mom, go to sleep. Because I'm half lounging on the sofa. I'm half sitting, half lying. My cell phone dropped the other day, so now all my screen is weird. My neck hurts, my back hurts, my leg hurts, because it's just really, really, really bad.
Yeah.
We need to treat ourselves better. And as you know, my platform, my passion, for my life coach business is self-care, because of what I went through.
Yes.
Like, we're going to keep doing this rat race until we drop, literally. God did not intend for us to work as hard as we do.
Yeah.
Right?
It's true.
So let's challenge everybody who's listening, and now or even later, start with a half a day.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it has to be Sunday. I don't know what your schedule is like, so I don't know what day is the most appropriate day for you. Start with a half a day. Maybe on Saturday or Sunday or Tuesday, your day stops at 6 p.m.
Done.
Yeah. Right? Sit down, have dinner with the family, read a book. Whatever happened to the days where we used to read a book?
Who has time to actually sit down and read a book?
Because we're too busy scrolling.
Because we're
too busy scrolling.
It's true. It's true.
Like, when was the last time you read a book? Like
Yeah.
back in the day, I thought summer was about 3 or 4 months long. I had
Mhm.
no idea until my daughter went to school that summer was only July and August.
Yeah.
Because summer seemed so long back in the day. I would get to the point where I'd be like, okay, I'm done.
I'm bored now.
Yeah, I'm ready. I miss my
Yeah,
teachers. I
yeah.
miss my classroom. I miss my friends. Because, and in the summertime, there was swim days. There was so-and-so's party,
Mhm.
park days.
Yeah.
Like, there
Out
was
on your bikes all
all,
day. Yeah.
come home with bruises, get the alcohol. I mean, that was how we grew up.
Yeah.
We weren't sitting in front of a TV.
No.
And what
No.
computer? What is a computer?
Yeah.
Right? Cell phone. Like calling 911 if you were in trouble. That like
The rotary dial?
Yeah. At least the 1-1 was fine.
Yeah.
But man, if that guy was at the door and he's about to come in, the time
Nine.
it take, right? And
Yeah.
like forget about it.
That's so true.
So
Yeah.
but there's a lot that I miss about
Me
yesteryears.
too.
A
Me too.
lot. It just seemed our life just seemed so much less complicated.
Mhm.
And that's probably because there was so much less to distract us.
Yes. I believe that's why. So let's get back to that as much as we can. We're going to keep the internet. We're going to keep our phones. We need them,
Yeah.
right? We
Yeah.
got to function. We got to work. But let's bring some of that back in.
So that's on us now.
Yeah.
We pick a day
Yeah.
and we say my day stops at 6 p.m. Whether it's Saturday, whether it's Sunday, whether it's Tuesday. Let's try that and see how that works.
That's a healthy boundary. No excuses. Like, make that a non-negotiable.
I'm already thinking
Why
in
do
my
you
head.
look nervous?
I am. I'm already thinking, oh my gosh. But that's probably it shouldn't be too difficult for me, specifically, me personally, because I have most of my energy in the morning.
Okay.
I get up in the morning
Good.
and I go.
That's
And
your
then
productive time.
yeah. And then about 2 or 3 o'clock, I start going, oh, okay. And that's because I've done so much,
Mhm.
right? And by 4, 5, or 6, yeah, I'm done. I'm like spent. But then what I'll do is I'll probably have something to eat. I'll probably have a little nap on my sofa, wake up and I'm like, oh, I didn't wash the dishes. And now it's like 9, 10
Mm.
and I'm doing all that stuff. So that's why I'm looking at you like that. I'm like, oh
Okay.
Lord, oh Lord.
So yeah, it'll be a little
Try
pattern
it.
interrupt, but
Try it. Let's
worth
just
it.
try it and see how it goes.
Okay.
Let's see how it goes. So for all of you listening, I hope you enjoyed the conversation. This was really good.
Mhm.
Really good. But
Enjoyed
I
it.
really miss yesteryears.
Me
I
too.
really, really miss them. So for those that are listening, take us up on the challenge. Try
Mhm.
it. Pick a day, any day. You've got 7 to choose from.
Yeah.
Pick a day. Yes, Ruthie, darling. How are you, honey? Ruthie has Ruthie days, Mondays.
I love Ruthie days.
Yeah, well,
Good
see,
for her.
And I, her dear, dear, dear friend, always forget the girl has Ruthie days.
So you're bugging her on Monday?
Every Monday.
Okay.
Thank God she loves me so.
Mm-hmm.
Ruthie, do you want to?
But does she come back and go, it's Ruthie day, so this will have to wait?
She does remind me that it's Ruthie day.
Good.
She doesn't always say this has to wait.
Okay.
She'll say, it's Ruthie day, right?
Mm.
But I can X, Y, Z.
Mm.
And then I'm like, no, it's okay. And she's like, no, it's okay. And now I feel guilty. Right? So yeah, Ruthie has Ruthie days. What's Paula saying there underneath Ruthie's days?
So Paula said the Sabbath is preparation throughout the week to focus on God from 6 p.m. the night before to sunset the next day.
Oh, so 6 p.m. is a good idea.
Lovely.
Laurel had said, wow, our pastor just challenged us to take our Sabbath day of rest, and he reminded us that this is the command by God. So as believers, we need to be intentional about taking a day of rest, as this is an act of obedience.
Amen. Amen.
Wow. So can we say confirmation?
Yes.
Her
And
pastor.
timely. Yes.
Wow.
Yes. We need to get back to this.
Wow. I think,
yeah.
And I think it's the kind of thing too, not only do we need to get back to it and be intentional, but hold all of those people near and dear and close to us intentional. Okay, what's your day that you're going to stop at 6 p.m.? What is your day?
I want all of Sunday.
Okay, so now I can say to you, like on Sunday at 1 o'clock, so you're stopping at 6 p.m. I'm not going to find you at Costco at 6:01.
Oh no.
Like hold each other accountable.
Yeah.
I don't know what.
Day.
Yeah, yeah. Sunday will be a good day. Sunday should be a good day to do that.
One challenge I did find is because I have supported entrepreneurs for 7 years, right? I left corporate 7 years ago and I have done my own business and worked for entrepreneurs for years. Entrepreneurs we're maniacs when it comes to our work and our business, right? And we don't take vacation like other people do. It's not like you get 2 or 4 weeks vacation a year. We're working and we can work mobily and anywhere and any time. And so Sundays began to feel like even another working day. And my phone will still go nuts with notifications. But the difference is I don't care on Sunday. I don't even look at it. And I've already implemented that. I can't tell you the peace and freedom there is with that. Let it ring, let it ding. I don't care. It's Sunday, because it's not, I don't feel like it's selfish. It's Sunday.
Yeah.
And they don't expect something from me. Sometimes, like you, they'll just throw it in there so that it's there. They were thinking about it at the time. It can wait till Monday, especially when it comes through on a Sunday. So I don't feel compelled to check. I won't do it. And they know, okay, this can wait. But if things come through, I don't feel any kind of way on a Sunday.
Even in my business now, and I'm just starting, like I'm entering the 2nd year of, my business, my brand,
Yes.
my, I eat what I kill life that I'm now living. Even if I get a message late at night, I will read it and I will respond, which is to mean I will type it out and I won't send it till the morning. I started doing that a long time ago. I don't want anybody thinking that they can message me any time of the day and I'm going to respond. So because I know I have a jam-packed morning, although I have a lot of energy in the morning, I try to get a lot done before noon. I want to get so much done. I can wake up at 6 o'clock. We meet for prayer at 6. We're usually done by 6:45, 6:50, because you got to get Charlotte. And then I go right into work. I start looking at messages. I don't send anybody a message before 8 a.m. unless I know that you're an early bird, and then I'll send it to you. And then I just start, and then all I do is go in my draft and I go send.
Nice.
Oh yeah, I don't send them at night.
That's good.
Yeah, I don't want people
you're
thinking,
honoring your boundaries and theirs.
Yeah, I don't want people thinking that they can message me at midnight and say something. So yeah, I think Sundays at 6 p.m. is doable for me. Okay, so now before we go, because we can be on this all day. So now we're doing this. We're going to start with half a day. And we're going to do 6 p.m. on whatever day you choose. Rebecca and I will do Sundays. Okay. But whatever day you choose, you're going to do a half a day to start. If you want to do a full day, like Ruthie, have your Mondays, have your Ruthie days, great. And though I actually am seeing that more and more. People having personal days where they're like, nope, that's my day. I'm not doing anything. So does that mean, I just want to get all the rules. I want to have the rules.
Okay.
If somebody invites me out to dinner on Sunday night, can I not go?
Does dinner with someone you love and care about count as something restful?
It depends on someone that I love and care about.
Okay.
Because some of them are not.
So that's between you and the Lord.
Right? Some of them are not restful.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But no, seriously speaking, what does that look like?
Well, that's up to you, isn't it? Because I know some people who will do, like I had someone, she's an entrepreneur as well, and she'll tell me, Saturday evening, and just remember, I've got Sabbath tomorrow from sun up to sundown, so I'm not at all available. And so I know that I can't reach her and wouldn't anyway on a Sunday, but takes that, blocks it off. Me personally, if I'm reserving Sundays for the Lord and for family, and some family had said, well, hey, we're going to go over here for dinner, I'd be like, I'm down, let's go on a Sunday. But if it's feeling like that challenge is what you want to use Sundays for, I mean, that's up to you, I guess.
Interesting.
Yeah. But I love how you're trying to get all the rules, the regulations.
No, because I want to. We keep complaining about the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
All of us. And I know when I used to work in the law firms, in the offices, people would always come to my office. And this is why people said to me years ago, you'd make an excellent life coach. Like even my boss would come to my office with files in her hand to give me work to do. And there's 2-3 people lined up because they need to tell me something.
Yes.
And she'll walk in and she'll stop and she'll look at the lineup and she'll be like, come and see me when you're done. And I'm like, no, I'm just talking. She's like, yeah, I know. Come and see me when you're done.
Yeah.
And I will go to her office and I would say, we were just, she's like, I know. I'm like, doesn't that bother you? She's like, Olu, how many times am I in your office complaining about my daughter?
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. So I want to make sure, because we complain about the same thing all the time. And I used to tell people, and I still tell them this, if you're complaining about something over and over and over again, whether it's your husband, your wife, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your boss, your kids, your job, whatever you're complaining about over and over and over again, after a while, the problem becomes you. It's not your husband. It's not your wife. It's not your kids.
Agree.
So if I'm saying I'm tired, I'm burnt out, there's no boundaries, I'm stressed, I'm tired, but we're running ourselves ragged
Yeah.
7 days a week, 25 hours a day.
Yep. So then I would say this about that question, because it's a good question. You know how you can have some kind of fellowship with someone, and when you leave that experience, you can either feel totally energized, like it fed your soul, and
Or drained, yeah.
or drained. So if you feel like that time with that person is going to be honoring to the Lord, that fellowship and conversation is going to be honoring to the Lord, and it's something that you want to fit into your Sunday, do it. If it's something you're going, oh man, I didn't need that today. Wish I hadn't have said yes to that. Wrong person, wrong place. Just stole all my peace today. No.
Yeah. Discernment.
Yeah. Yeah.
Loved this conversation. It was a good one. I knew it was going to be. Whenever you're talking about back in the day, it's going to be a good conversation. Yes. Thank you guys for joining. Thank you. Millicent says, yes, you can go. Oh, thank you, Millicent. Great conversation. Thank you, Rebecca.
Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. As I mentioned in the beginning, Rebecca is one of my keynote speakers of the second annual Let's Talk Women's Conference. The flyer will be put up on the screen so you guys can get the information of the conference. It is on Saturday. I keep saying August everywhere I go.
April.
It's Saturday, April 26th at 9 a.m. at the Audley Recreation Center in in Ajax, from 9 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. Do not get scared by the time. For those of you that were there last year, you know how fast that day goes by. This year, it will be even faster. We've got 6 incredible speakers covering every aspect and every dynamic of our lives. The theme is the hidden areas of our lives. I can't wait to deliver my message.
So good.
Yeah, it's going to be a day of empowerment, connections, freedom, right? Just somebody asked me last year, what do you need at the end of the conference? This is last year. What do you need to have happened for you to deem it a success? And I said, I need for one person, at least one person, to leave there and say, I'm not alone. This journey that I'm on, this wilderness, this storm I'm in, oh my goodness, I'm not alone. Now, I know you would say something like, so what is that? I don't care if you're not alone, but they're yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I know what you mean too,
Yes.
but part of how we get dragged down into the quicksand or the mud is by feeling that you're alone. It's by feeling like you're the only one that's going through that. And that's so far from the truth. So come out on Saturday, April 26th. The tickets are now on sale. You can get them 3 ways. You can get them on my website, www.olumiuli.com, which I think is scrolling at the bottom. They're $157.50. If you're paying by e-transfer, then that's $157.50. If you're buying them on my website with credit card, there's a processing fee. If you are buying them through Eventbrite, there is a higher processing fee. So my suggestion would be either by email transfer or by credit card through my website to get the lower processing fee. Coming out, we can't wait. 6 incredible speakers: faith and freedom coach, a career strategist, wealth builder, a budgeter, the budget doctor. And the one I'm really happy and proud about is we're going to have a young lady speaking. She's from the deaf and hard of hearing community, and she's going to be speaking about disabilities.
She's
and how
amazing.
She's phenomenal.
Yeah.
And how not to allow a disability to hold you down. As a matter of fact, use it to propel you.
You can't leave this conference and not be encouraged. You cannot. What we saw last year, the tremendous outpouring and feedback, the laughter, the tears, the growth, the community. It was such a beautiful day. And no one puts on an event like you do. How you spoil your attendees, the little surprises that I know you're working on. It's going to be a wonderful time.
It is. And I give God all the praise and all the glory. This could not have been done without him. It certainly was not on my radar. So I hope to see you all on Saturday, April 26th. And before we leave, one more piece of announcement. Starting February, so that's our next live, because today's the 23rd. So For the month of February and the month of March and the month of April leading up to the conference, I'll be giving away a free ticket on each of my lives.
Nice.
So you're going to want to join our lives. And at the end of it, we're going to pick a name of, and you're going to want to come in and you're going to want to comment. We'll pick a word that day. Shireen and I will pick a word. And at the end of the live, we'll choose a winner and you'll get a free ticket.
Woohoo.
So see you on April 26th. Let's talk. Thank you for joining us. Have a great evening. I'll see you next time. Good night. Thanks, Rebecca.
Thank you. Bye,
You're welcome.
everyone.
Bye, guys.